Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And this is another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? We're finally out of the spooky season, and we are in the month of the Great Turkey War. And this is the first episode for Who's That Cosplayer in the month of the Great Turkey War. And joining me on today's episode is Amber Berry Cosplay. How are you doing today? I'm sorry, I feel so great. Energetic, and it's just like, yo, we're about to go to battle.
Yes, let's go.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a great day so far.
Hey, it's good to hear that. It's good to see your smile. And thank you so much for joining me on Who's That Cosplayer. And before we get into today's interview, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Bank. And as D always says, podcast link down in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into today's interview. Amber, like I said, again, thank you so much for joining me. And something that we do up here on Who's That Cosplayer is we ask everybody, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who Amber Berry Cosplay is.
Well, I would consider myself a late bloomer when it comes to cosplay. I started in 2015 after trying to start going to conventions years prior. The first time I discovered that there was a convention in my area was Anime Mid-Atlantic. When I was on my way to the gas station, I almost hit a Chun-Li who's running across the street. So after that, I was just like, I need to do that. So maybe like 3-4 years later, I finally got to go to my very first convention, which was NecoCon in Hampton, Virginia.
Nice. Yeah. For me, and it's crazy, the first convention that I went to was BAM Toy and Game Con out Virginia Beach. And that's where I actually met Amber at for the first time in person. Like, I had seen her on Facebook because of mutual friends and whatnot, but actually seeing her in costume and cosplay, and the cosplay that she was doing Isis from Yu-Gi-Oh! And like, your cosplay, it looked fantastic. I just want to say that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I think that it's cool because you said like you were late to the party, but I feel like when it comes to cosplay, like you're never late because it's like you're never too old or young to do cosplay. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's something that you can just instantly jump into and you can be whoever you want to be. Like, I know that there's this cosplayer, it's an older woman, and it's like she cosplays as a bunch of like older characters from cartoons and animes. Like, she did Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog. I've never seen Spirited Away, and I'm mad. So everybody that's watching this, and yeah, your jaw just dropped. Please don't hurt me. But she cosplayed as the lady with the giant nose. Like, do you know who I'm talking about?
Of course I know who you're talking about.
Hey, look, I'm sorry. Look, Trav and D get on me all the time for this because it's like I have a huge list of movies and TV shows that I have to watch. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a busy man. You know what I'm saying? I try to fit stuff into my schedule when I can, but it's like I'm always doing so many reviews and interviewing people. I don't always have time to, watch stuff. You know what I'm saying? But back to the interview, because I snowballed a little bit there. I just think it's cool. Like you said, you went to the con, NecoCon. I went to that one back in 2017 was the first time I went there. And at that con, you were cosplaying as Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Now,
that's my girl.
That's one of the things that I love about you, is because I feel like when it comes to cosplay, everybody has that costume that they wear where it's just like, this is what they are known from. Like Johnny Five, one of my good friends and somebody who I've interviewed on Who's That Cosplayer, and you can watch his interview here on the channel. He's known for always cosplaying as Deadpool. Like, he's done other cosplays, but he always does Deadpool. And I just want to ask you, like, what was the inspiration behind, getting into becoming Tiana from The Princess and the Frog? Now, was that your first costume that you ever did, or?
No, actually, in 2015. Oh, well, okay. I don't know if it's gonna consider cosplay because I did make a Tiana costume in 2010. It was awful. You can find it on my Facebook if you really want to see it. And it was, it it was my very first time making anything, and I chose to make a ball gown.
Mhm.
And like with that, I was just like, I want to keep trying, and eventually, I got the shape right, and then I ended up making a new dress, which is even bigger than the last one. And also, when the Princess and the Frog came out, I was actually working at Disney World at the time, so
Hey.
it definitely resonated with me a whole lot more than probably somebody who wasn't working, for the company at the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, please don't be mad at me, but I've never seen the Princess and the Frog either. Please do not hurt me. Oh my God, I feel so bad. Hey, I was expecting you to be like, hey, it was nice talking to you. I'll see you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's on Disney Plus. You get a free trial.
Hey, I have Disney Plus and it's on my watch list. And like I said, I have a bunch of stuff I have to watch. I have to. And I just watched The Lost Boys for the first time last year. And yeah, so I mean, I'm getting there. I'm like, they compare me to Captain America because it's like he had that list of stuff that he had to listen to and watch. So that's me all day. But I think it's cool that you worked at Disneyland. Now, when you were working there, I'm sorry, World. I forgot there's two. There's Disneyland and there's Disney World. So when you were working at Disney World, like, tell us, like, how was it working there? Like, how fun was it? Was it as magical as everybody says it is?
It had its, highs and lows, like any job. We're working during the summer is clearly, miserable. But, overall, it was an amazing experience that honestly molded me into the person I am today, like obsessed with costumes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like there's a lot of people that are there wearing costumes and whatnot. And I feel like when it comes to cosplay or just wearing a costume in general, I always feel that you have to, go beyond plus ultra and become that character, kind of like how you're Miss Joke right now. Now, Amber, I know that you just debuted this Miss Joke cosplay at Superstar Anime. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, and it's like just seeing you there, it's like you were full of energy, you were making people smile, you were making people laugh, and that's something that Miss Joke does. So I just wanted to ask you, what was the inspiration behind being Miss Joke? Like, is she one of your favorite characters on My Hero Academia?
I would say she's definitely like in my top 10. I like her costume was like more of a out of all the other characters, her costume was something that I really wanted to tackle, especially her shorts, because it's an orange and green stripe. And you can't just find orange and green stripes. So because I like a challenge, I went and got orange fabric and I got green fabric.
Nice.
And then I cut stripes. And then I sewed them all together and made so it had a big sheet of orange and green fabric. And then that's how I made the shorts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
that's awesome that you actually, made it yourself. And I know earlier in the interview, you said that when you had created your first Tiana cosplay, like you said, it was cosplay, but it wasn't cosplay. But it's like, I feel like it takes a lot of, energy and being very creative when it comes to putting everything together yourself. And I mean, you can always buy the stuff online, but I feel like it takes a certain skill to actually like do that stuff. Because he's actually working on a cosplay for NekoCon, and I can't say it because if I say it, he'll kill me. But this is his first cosplay that he's doing, and he wanted to build it from the ground up. He's been, watching videos, looking at pictures and whatnot. So I just want to ask you, like, how long did it take you to put Miss Joke together?
I want to say I started officially in the maybe late July, but it didn't take very long because, I have a regular 9-to-5 job now. So my weekends are free for me to just, sit in my room and cut strips of fabric and figure things out. And I'm constantly thinking about how to construct certain things and how, something has to be cut for it to like puff up or lay how I need it to lay. And it's all trial and error. And the less time you have, the less trial and error you have to work with. But I would say maybe about 3 weeks to get it all done.
That's not that long, especially like you said, like if you have enough time and you're not having to rush and hurry up and get it done. Because I'm one of those type of people where it's like I feel like if you rush, you're gonna mess up something. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that's the last thing that you want to do, especially when it comes to a costume. Because I know when I was younger, there was this show that used to come on Sci-Fi, and like they used to have like cosplay contests and something like that. And
Here's a Cosplay.
Yes, that is what the show is. And that show, like I enjoyed watching that show when it came out back in the day. And you know, I just remember like when it came to crunch time, because like some of these people would be making the costumes like at the con and, you know, trying to make sure that they had it ready for you know, whatever contest that they were trying to do. And like some people, they succeeded, some people failed. So, you know, everybody that's watching right now, take her advice, you know, take your time, slow down, don't rush, and make sure that your cosplay, it looks awesome. Because if you rush, then you're gonna mess up, then you're gonna have to start all over, and nobody wants to do any of that.
And that's when things start getting expensive.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. Now, to piggyback and keep it on the topic of superstar anime, now you were a cosplay judge at this con. At this con.
Yes, I was.
I was gonna say contest. Now, was this your first time being a cosplay judge?
No. I was a cosplay judge for the very first superstar anime back in 2019. So I was, you know, coming back for round 2.
Hey, and like they say, you know, the first one happened, but then the second one's even better, because I like sequels. You know what I'm saying? So like, tell us like how is it being a judge when it comes to cosplay? Because I've done it before, and it is very hard, because it's one of those things where it's like you wish that you can choose everybody. You wish that everybody could get an award, but it's like you can only choose one. Sometimes there's 1, 2, and 3, but a lot of times there's only one winner. So like, how hard is that, or is it a breeze to get through for you?
It can be difficult, and sometimes it isn't very difficult. What I look for when I'm judging is, you know, craftsmanship, creativity, and pretty much like how you present it. If, you know, if you're closed off and you're kind of like slouching and you don't seem like you're actually interested, I kind of write you off right then and there, but you're still in the back of my mind in case like maybe I'm missing something with the character and that's what you were supposed to be doing. It's all about performance for me. Like Superstar doesn't have like a masquerade where everyone goes across the stage, but you know, presentation is something that I look for. And you know, also, you know, uniqueness. If I'm trying to judge 20 different Nezuko's, it's, you know, monotonous. And I'm just like, okay, this one was just like the last one. I'm probably just going to write off, you know, all the repeats, because how am I supposed to like, okay, well, this robe is really pink and this robe is really pink and that robe's really pink too. Like, there's, you know, I look for uniqueness as well. You know, craftsmanship, like, you know, did you make it? Because in cosplay competitions, making your costume or making up to 90% is very important. Because, you know, it's about craftsmanship. It's about, you know, what you put into it. Because, you know, it just because you bought your cosplay doesn't invalidate you. But for a competition, you know, it's something you might want to steer clear from. And you can purchase something and alter it and still pretty much qualify for, you know, placement. But, you know, you have to do something, not just take it out of the bag and slap it on.
And I'm glad that you said something about that, because I know at some cons, it's like, you know, they do allow people to enter the contest and just wear a costume that they bought online or whatnot. But at some cons, it's like they'll let you know, hey, you have to actually make this outfit yourself in order to enter the contest. And I know I was at a con one time where it's like the guy, it was a dad, and he was getting mad because his daughter couldn't enter the cosplay contest, when all of the judges clearly stated that it has to be something that you actually made yourself. Because imagine if you spent like all of this money on this awesome costume and you didn't put any work into it, you know what I'm saying? But then the person that's entering the contest, it's like, you know, they spent countless nights, hours, putting all this time and energy into making this, and they don't end up winning. So it's like, I understand where it's just like, you know, you want to make it fair for everybody. And it's just like, if you want to enter this contest, then you have to actually make it yourself. And also too, something I wanted to piggyback off of what you said was, if you do have 20 Nezuko's that come in line, it is cool to see something unique. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do that's gonna make you stand out from all of these other Nezuko's? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just went to Fayetteville Comic-Con, and there were, of course, a bunch of people dressed up in Demon Slayer costumes and whatnot. And the one girl, she won the kids cosplay contest, and how she won it wasn't the fact that she was Tanjiro, but she had actually made the giant box that carries Nezuko. Like, she actually made it. She had put Nezuko in the back of the box, and then she also had she modified her sword that she had, so that way when she pushed the button on it, like, it was like a water ribbon came out of it. So that way,
that's cool.
It was cool, and she was just like, it was like, I can't remember which form it was, but I was just like, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that everybody has to, do something over the top like that, but that stuff right there, it definitely stands out to you, because if you're a judge, like, that's the uniqueness that you're looking for. Who's that cosplayer?
It's the spooky darling.
Yeah, presentation, uniqueness, craftsmanship. That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. So now I want to ask you this, to still stay on the cosplay topic. What are some of your favorite memories from cosplaying at a con?
It was, what year was it? I want to say it's 2018 NecoCon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it was the first year they had the like formal dance, come in your formal wear, your ball gowns, that kind of thing. And they were teaching people how to, ballroom dance. And, I was, I had worked that day, so I was late getting there. So I wanted to, get my room situated and then get dressed in my Tiana ball gown. And then I went down. I got there and I was there for maybe 5 minutes. I turned around and this little girl like screamed. She was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Tiana!" And of course, like, I love kids. Like, it's like, kids are my life. And she I went down, because it's before COVID times, and gave her a big hug. And it was just like, I love those moments, because like, when I'm cosplaying, it's costume play. Like, I role play as Tiana. Like, I know what to say. Like that's my girl. I know what she would say and what she would do in certain situations. And it was just like those moments with like children and people who are just like super excited to see Tiana. It's because I don't see her cosplayed often, like anywhere. So it's, it's really nice, to give those interactions that, aren't, widespread.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I 100% agree with you on that. And like, that's one of the things that I love about cosplay, is because when you're that character, like you said, it's like your costume, it's a costume, it's a play. You have to be that character. And like, you just never know. You never know like who you're gonna make happy. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, especially when kids see you in costume. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they think that you're that character. And I'm looking forward to going to NecoCon this year, because this episode is actually going to air the week of NecoCon. You know what I'm saying?
Exciting.
So not only is this the first episode of the Great Turkey War, but this is going to be the first episode to air before NecoCon, where you can see me and Amber at. And I have 2 cosplays that I'm going to be doing. Like, I have cosplayed before at NecoCon, but I feel like when you start in cosplay, of course you can always, order a costume or something like that, or you can make one yourself. The first one I ever did was Big Smoke. And then the second one I did was Dexter from Good Burger. But this is going to be the first year that I'm actually going to be in a costume that is related to an anime character. And as everybody can see and probably figure out, the character I'm going to be, he's right here, center stage, my hero Deku. And I'm looking forward to cosplaying as Deku, and I can't wait for kids to come up to me and, want to take pictures and all that stuff. Like, I'm hyped. And then, of course, my other cosplay that I'm doing Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. Nice. So I'm looking forward to that. Like, these are, 2 characters that I really like, and I can't wait to do it. But one of the things that I was going to say when it comes to, cosplaying and whatnot is, it's just fun that it brings so many people together. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because of the character that you're being. So Pinky's up to you for, being Tiana, having those little girls run up to you and you made their day. Like, I feel like that is always going to be an awesome feeling when you know that your cosplay knocked it out of the park and it made somebody's day. Now, also to keep it on Tiana, I always see like these different variants of Disney princesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen like the Sailor Moon variants. I've seen superhero variants. Now, do you think that you would ever do a Tiana variant where, like, let's say she was a hero in My Hero Academia? Would you ever consider doing something like that?
Maybe. If I had like a reference to go off of, like, I'm creative, but like trying to incorporate like, a character that I know all her outfits. I almost have all her outfits made. And then trying to come up with something completely new. I'm not the best at that, but I have done a Tiana variant. It was the Keyblade wielder Tiana. And that was back, and I want to say in 2017 or 18. I don't know, it's 2000. I want to say it was 17 or 16. I'm not sure. It's all jumbled up.
Yeah, hey, 2020 never happened. And ever since then, we don't know what year it is.
That's true.
So I have one more cosplay question to ask you, and then we can move on to some of the other topics I wanted to bring up. But the last question that I had for you is, what are some other future costumes that you have coming up that you're going to be doing?
Well, definitely going to do Mirko from My Hero. Nice. Kind of want to do Midnight. I'm not 100% sure. I want to do a Bulma because, she was my first like waifu. And I don't know, like, I guess as they come, like, I'll like figure more things out. But like, of course, I want to cosplay like, all of Tiana, like debut all of Tiana's costumes. Eventually, I have the masquerade dress, the lily pad ball gown, the waitress uniform here that I'm wearing for Halloween with my niece. I'm about to make the finale dress in a few weeks. And like, as things pop up and I'm like get really obsessed with them, then that's when I really decide on what I choose to cosplay or want to tackle. There's one costume that I've started and never finished, and that was Death from Deadpool.
Hey, okay.
Her video game look. And it's just like, that's just been a real tough one for me to get through because it's like a leather corset, it's like big billowy cape, and then she has this like, it's a lot. Yeah. So it's just like, that one's like been on the back burner, and I like take it out, I put it away, and I'm just like, I don't know when this is gonna get done, but eventually it'll get done.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes like that happens. Like one of my friends, Lila 350, which I interviewed on Who's That Cosplayer, her interview. She was my very first interview, and you can watch that here on the YouTube channel. But she just finished her Raven costume, and she's been working on that. So when did that interview come out? I want to say like back in March, I think. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes it gets like that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's like you start on it and then life happens and you come back to it and you're just like, hey, I'm going to finally finish this. And, I hope to see your Death cosplay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Death is a cool character in the Marvel universe and whatnot. So I'd be looking forward to seeing that. So now moving along, something that I like to ask everybody that I have up here is, when you're not cosplaying, like, what are some of your hobbies that you're into? What do you like to do for fun?
I like to go to the movies. I work for a theater, so I spend a lot of time there watching movies and taking advantage of my job.
I would.
So, like, I go see a lot of movies. I spend time with my family, especially my niece and nephew, obsessed. And also trying to assimilate them into cosplay and convention life. My niece, when she saw me all dressed up, she was like, where are you going? I was like, oh, I'm going here. She was like, can I come? And I'm just like, if I wasn't working it, then yes. I'm still considering bringing her to Neko. I'm not 100% sure. She's only 4 years old, going on 5. But I don't know, because you never know how someone so young is going to handle like a big environment like that. And then like I don't want her to get overstimulated. But it's her time is coming. because I know she'd be into it. She's so into dressing up.
Yeah, because it's like when it comes to taking kids to cons, it's like they can only last there for so long. You know what I'm saying? Before they're just like, I'm ready to go. And you know, for somebody like me, like I interview people at cons, like I take pictures, and me and Dee, we had went to Greenville Comic Con. That was the first con that we actually went to where we were taking pictures and interviewing people. And we had brought his son with us, and his son was the cameraman. And it was just like, after a while, he's just like, yeah, I'm ready to go. We just like, bro, we have to interview people. But he did a good job, and I made sure I compensated him. I got him a mask that he wanted, and he saw some guns that he wanted, but Dee was just like, you already have enough guns. Like, I don't understand what it is about kids wanting the Nerf guns and swords and all. Like, y'all already have all that stuff. Like, how many guns do you need? Are you trying to be the John Wick of kids? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
probably.
But no, I mean, it's cool that you work at a movie theater and that you have the opportunity to, you know, see all these movies. So since you work at a movie theater, I would presume that you're a movie buff. So I'm going to ask you this. Give me your top 3 movies of all time.
All time?
Yeah.
You said top 3?
Top 3. I mean, I could say top 5. What would be easier for you? Top 3 or top 5?
I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to do 5.
Okay, let's do 5 then.
Okay. Top 5 movies of all time. Sound of Music.
Okay.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Okay.
Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hey, okay.
No,
I'm just saying,
Fantasia.
like, okay, Fantasia. All right.
Princess and the Frog.
Princess and I like how you ended that with it on the team. I love that.
Glad you picked that up.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make sure that I watch The Princess and the Frog. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is a movie that I just watched for the second time. The first time I watched it was when it originally came out, and I feel like watching that movie as a kid, it doesn't hit as hard compared to watching it as an adult, because when I was a kid, I was just like, man, this movie's boring. You know what I'm saying? But watching it as you know what I'm saying? But watching it as an adult, he's just like, man, like this movie is dark. like why did my aunt take me and my cousin to go see this movie when we were kids? Like people are dying and stuff now. I mean, like they were dying, but it wasn't on the same level as, you know, Mufasa getting thrown off of the cliff. Like The Lion King is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. So it's
I know.
You know, I mean, I cried. I cried. Rest in peace, Uncle Brad. But yeah, I was sitting there in the theater crying when Mufasa died, because I wanted them to get up too. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen The Lion King, because there are some people who have not seen The Lion King. So
and that's baffling.
But that is a good top 5 list that you have right there. Now, what are some of your other hobbies that you're into, like when you're not at the movie theater?
I'm like, well, movies and cosplay, and then sewing in general, I really like. And then shopping, going out with friends, having some drinks, just like traveling. And like, I will drive 3+ hours just to go to like a place to go and eat, because I'm like, oh, it's only 4 hours away. Let's go. Like, we're adults. We can do whatever we want. Like, let's go. Let's drive 4 hours to Raleigh and go get a burger. Like, we can do whatever we want.
I mean, I feel that. It's just like my tag partner, Diamond Victor Griff. It's like sometimes like I'll hit him up and I'll be like, what you doing? He'd be like, hey, I'm driving on the road. I'm like, oh, where you going? He's like, I'm going to Sheetz. I'm like, you really going to Sheetz? I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, we're Sheetz over Wawa, guys. And even though like there's nothing wrong with Wawa, it's just that we don't have any Sheetz here in V8. Well, in the 757, we don't have any Sheetz. So like the closest Sheetz is going to be like 1 hour to 2 hours away. And you know, like Amber said, it's just like, if you want to take that adventure and go get a burger, or there might be an event that you might want to go to. Like, hey, it's an hour drive. Like, let's go to the event. Let's try the food in the area and let's just have a good time. And that's what it's all about, especially when you're doing it with your homies, because it's like, you already know that you're going to have a fun time. So last question I have for you. Well, I have 2 more questions. And this one is another cosplay question. What is some advice that you would give to somebody that wants to get into doing cosplay?
Some advice. If you want to get into cosplay, take your time, stay within your comfort level. Don't feel pressured to do anything that you're not comfortable with. Take your time. If you want to start making your own stuff, take your time. You don't have to decide to do a giant ball gown with a bunch of gathers and ruffles and all this other intricate shaping. You don't have to start with that. You can start with something easy. There's plenty of easy characters to cosplay that are still amazing characters. And have fun. Don't forget to have fun, because if you're not having fun, it's not worth doing.
Exactly. And that is one thing that we always say up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, because if you're not having fun, then what's the point of doing it? So the last question that I have for you is, because this is the Great Turkey War that's coming up, what is your favorite dish that you like to eat on the day of the Great Turkey War?
Mashed potatoes.
With gravy or without gravy?
Without. I don't like turkey, so turkey gravy is the thing. I don't like it.
Hey, see, now, you know, like, that's where I'm gonna be like, hey, this interview is over.
All right, peace out, homie.
But thank you so much for joining me up here on a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer. It was wonderful having you up here. So before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at Amber Berry Cosplay, same tag for Facebook, on Twitter, pretty much everything. You know, I'm on pretty much every social media, even in Cosplay Amino, if you want to follow me there too.
Nice.
And TikTok.
Okay. Hey, you got to make sure that you drop the TikTok, because TikTok is popping right now. And that's all I got to say about that. So again, Amber, thank you so much for joining me. You know where you can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you everybody again for watching this interview. Make sure that you check out some more interviews that we have here on the channel, along with reviews and reaction videos, podcast where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday, and then the video of that interview is up here on YouTube that Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, prepare for the Great Turkey War. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons, and if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.